Welcome back to the channel. This week we're going to be working on Lunar2. I'm going to be installing the interior kit from 4runneroffroad.com. Let's jump into it. So the reason I'm doing an interior kit on Lunar2 is I'm gonna be doing a little bit more than maybe what the traditional driver is gonna do. I'm gonna take this thing off-road. I plan on having Lunar2 keep up with Lunar1 when we're out in the dunes. So I wanna make sure that all my passengers are safe, that I'm safe, or whoever's driving Lunar2 is safe. So this kit is designed for you to take off-road in the most extreme circumstances while staying safe. So this kit incorporates a lot of pieces of the interior. We're gonna be replacing the steering wheel, the seats, as well as doing something with the seat belts that's gonna provide a lot more safety than what the factory seat belts are gonna provide. The factory safety equipment from Toyota is excellent, but we're gonna be pushing the truck to the limit. So we need to have something that's gonna be a little bit more aggressive, something that's gonna keep us in place when we take this thing through the air, through the dunes, through the whoop roads, whatever we're gonna do with it, we wanna make sure we stay perfectly safe and we wanna look good while doing it. Now, as a part of this kit, I'm going to be replacing the factory steering wheel. I'm gonna replace it with something that's reinforced steel that's easily detachable. Now, in doing that, I'm gonna be losing the factory airbag. So if I'm gonna take out the factory airbag, I need to address some other elements about the interior to make sure I'm not compromising my safety. Now, this video isn't gonna be an instructional video. I'm gonna move through this stuff really fast, but I want you guys to check out what I'm putting in Lunar2 and make sure if you have questions, leave comments down below and I'll answer as much as I possibly can. But I'm gonna get to taking this thing apart. I'm gonna put that interior kit in. All right, so I'm gonna start with the steering wheel. Before you touch anything with an airbag in it, you wanna do one thing. That's make sure you disconnect your negative battery terminal. Now, this isn't an install video, but safety first. Okay, so with the airbag out, we can see the rest of the switch. We can see all these connectors in here. So with this kit, I do actually get to retain my factory switches. That is the coolest thing about the 4Runner off-road kit, is that you get to keep these switches. There isn't another kit on the market that's gonna allow you to do that. So we wanna be very careful as we're disconnecting. We don't wanna break anything. We don't wanna cause any problems. Pull this apart carefully. It is very simple, but it is made of plastic, so be careful. Toyota does actually a really good job of making their stuff really easy to take apart. I've taken apart some pretty crazy cars, and it's really easy to take these apart. I don't really know how it is to put one back together yet, but we're gonna find out. They just pop out. There's a little clip right here. Be careful not to break that. You want to disconnect these little guys, and we're free. Hold on to this, you're gonna need it. This is the nut that goes on the end of that steering wheel. If you lose this, not fun. This is torn down to the point that I need it to be. You wanna be very careful. All of this stuff in here is plastic, so don't get too crazy with it. Don't break anything. I'm gonna pull the seat out. That's gonna open us up for the rest of the stuff that we need to do. All right, to go along with the steering wheel and the seat, I need to replace the seat belts with something that's gonna be a little bit more safe. So I'm gonna take apart these B-pillars. I'm gonna add in a harness bar as well as some 4-point harnesses. Now the harness bar I'm adding actually allows me to keep the seat belts, but I'm gonna take those out anyway while we get the harness bar all fit up. I think we're ready to start putting stuff in. Let's do it. Woo! To upgrade from the factory steering wheel, I'm gonna use the kit from 4Runner Off-Road. Now, this kit allows me to upgrade the steering wheel to a stronger reinforced steering wheel like this PRP steering wheel, while incorporating and not having to lose any of my factory controls. Now, this is important because Toyota incorporates so much of the functionality into the steering wheel. You can't change your volume, you can't change what tracks you're listening to, you also can't even use your cruise control if you lose all the switches. So this kit allows me to keep all of that functionality and rock this thing. As I said earlier, if I'm gonna be doing the steering wheel, I need to be upgrading the rest of the safety equipment. So you can see here, I've got the Toyota factory seat next to the PRP Tango fixed back seat. And I went with this because this seat provides an exceptional amount of support, but there's a lot of other benefits to going with an aftermarket seat. When you're doing this though, you want to incorporate some additional safety stuff. 4Runner partnered with PRP to put this kit together, and it came out really, really awesome. All of the pieces line up, match, everything looks super sick. Now this is specially designed for off-road. It has suspension foam in it, so it's gonna be super comfy and like keeps you like super locked into place. I actually went with the driver and passenger kit, but today I'm just gonna be installing in the driver's seat because I wanna drive it around. And when you're doing a system like this, you have to set up the harnesses. You wanna make sure everything's dialed in because you want it to be as safe as possible. That's the whole point. So incorporating the fixed back racing seat means I need to incorporate a 4-point harness system, and that's gonna require a harness bar. So 4Runner Off-Road includes in the kit a harness bar designed by them specifically for the 5th gen 4Runner. I'm excited to throw this stuff in the 4Runner and show you guys how it all fits up because it transforms the interior of the 4Runner. It doesn't even look the same. It's probably one of my favorite mods I've ever done. I don't think there's anything else out there like it, so let's get to it. So step 1 is gonna be putting together the steering wheel switch relocator kit. So these plates, I believe, are the backing plates. Pretty cool with like 3D printed pieces. They're gonna go on the back of the switch groups, the factory switch groups. Definitely a little bit of trimming is probably gonna be the best move here to make these things look right. Okay, so I'm gonna start with taking these things apart. There's just like little Phillips head screws on the back here. Probably want to disconnect it first. That might be a good idea. Ooh, that actually fits pretty nice. Don't want to crank it down too much, just enough to get some tension on it. Now this 3D printed piece is actually quite a bit stronger than I thought it would be. It's nice to work with. Unplug. You don't have to keep track of that. The harnesses are different, so that's nice. Now everything's loose on the backs of these switches. Like if I lost that, that would not be cool. So I'm just gonna be very careful with it and not lose anything. We're in. Cool thing about this is I'm pretty sure like anything that uses this steering wheel would probably work. I think there's like some of the Tacoma guys or maybe the Tundra guys can use it. Backing plates are on. Feels like everything mounts up pretty tight. That's nice. Okay, hub ring. I'm gonna attach the switches to the hub ring, and there's like a little notch right there that shows you what the top is. So that's how it's gonna mount up. Now, I want this to look a little bit more of like a pod-like look. I'm gonna modify the factory fascia, because like this is kind of like all not needed. If you wanna keep your ability to take it back to stock, like that's kind of cool because you don't like have to cut it necessarily. Probably a good idea, but I'm gonna cut these so that they look super sweet. I'm gonna grab some tape. Okay, tape. I'm gonna tape these things off. Now, I've cut a lot of plastic. I've done a lot of bumpers. I'm just gonna kind of treat it like that. Blue tape is your friend. So I'm just gonna like throw that like right there. Because you know, it's gotta look good, right? Now, these things probably aren't strong enough to put in a vise. So I'm just gonna kind of hold them and like, it's gonna be that easy. I believe it. Ooh. I think my little bumper trick worked pretty well. A little bit of cleanup in here. I think it's gonna look real nice. Look at that. I'm gonna go ahead and high five myself. Sweet. Switch groups. Cut. Looking pretty. Let's get on the hub ring. So this guy right here, it looks like there's like a little notch right here. So this notch fits right in here, and this little relief goes right on top. Oh, look at that. Look at that. The cool thing about 3D printing is it's like super, super strong. Way stronger than like I expect it to be. Ooh, that's nice. Ooh, that goes in there nice and firm too. So it's like really solid, really solid. That's sick. There is little holes, looks like tapped into the 3D printing for us to put these in. Now, they are small hardware, but if we're not totally cumbersome, it should go in there nice and easy. Okay, one side's in. Let's fit up this side. I think the cruise control is gonna, I think it goes right here. Like, maybe like one of these. Ooh, yeah. Oh, 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 oh. We're gonna be able to keep cruise control. It looks like this attaches like right here. There's like a little relief for it. Look at that. That is nice. That fits up super slick. No movement. All right, let's get the nut on there and, a steering wheel. Typically when you're taking your steering wheel off, you want to mark it to know where the top is. For me, I did that. It's just invisible. Make sure everything goes in its right spot. That's 14. I need a 19. Where's my 19? Where's my 19 at? Just had it. Just had it. Woo! Look at that. My video game controller is complete. Now you can't tell me this isn't a video game controller because it looks exactly like it. I'm gonna put the rest of these Allen keys in after I put the bottom part of the quick release on. So now that I know this fits up, it's game time. Quick release. Nice. So this little guy is gonna go on right like that. You might be asking yourself, like, why are you not hooking up the horn? The reason that I'm not putting a horn in is the PRP wheels actually don't ship with a horn button. Who uses a horn anyway, besides Safety Steve? Sweet! Time for the PRP steering wheel, Safety Steve, and don't forget the button, because we don't even need it. Sound effects run in the family. Nice. Yep, that'll do. Okay, steering wheel's in, switches. Yeah, those look great. We got our cruise control. Ooh, look at that. All right, massive win. These look awesome. Let's get the harness bar in and the seat in. I have the 4Runner off-road kit. This is the seat. Both brackets, you need to put it into the 4Runner. This bracket down here, you can accommodate other seats, but for the PRP fixed back racing seat, we're gonna need the side mounts as well. So you can see both brackets come with this kit. They go together super easy. It goes right into the 4Runner. This bracket is for specifically the 5th gen 4Runner. So all of the bolt holes and mounting points line up. Also, this has a spot on it for us to mount not only the harness, but the factory seat belt buckle as well. So if you are gonna be running, which I personally am not, I'm not gonna be running the seat belt. Like I said earlier, this isn't a how-to on how to install all of this. This is just me sharing my install of this kit with you in the 4Runner. But if you are gonna put this on, it would mount right up there, and your factory belt would come over and clip right into it. But this thing's ready to go in a 4Runner. Oh. All right. Let's put a couple bolts in, and then I want to fit up the harness bar. Okay. Oh yeah. Now, all I need is the harness bar, and this thing's gonna feel like it's ready to go rip the Baja. I wanna jump it. I think we can jump it stock on 35s. That might be a little much. All right, it's time for the 4Runner harness bar. This thing's pretty incredible. Direct fit for the 5th gen. Easy does it. Just hold it right there. Look at that. All right, with the harness bar in, all that's left to do is fit up the safety harnesses, and who better to fit them to than Safety Steve.
Your latest victim here.
All right, how safe do you feel right now?
There's no escape.
There's no escape.
No.
Okay, so you hold those tight. I'm gonna fit these up to the harness bar. So these little bars here are gonna hold the harnesses in place so they don't spread out, causing issues. How does that feel?
Feels solid.
Just your right one. Just pull your right one. Glad it feels solid. We're gonna do the other side here in just a second.
What happens if I become uncooperative?
Well, then I don't show you how to release it. All right, there we go. Is that tight? Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, how do you feel?
One with the seat.
So yeah. One with the seat?
Yeah, me and this seat are one.
Can you reach the steering wheel?
Oh yeah. I can reach my cruise control.
Ready for takeoff.
Zoom.
Nice. Yeah, nice, high five. All right, well, for not being an install video, I'm not gonna go super in depth into the rest of this, but there is still some work to do. I have to cut some of the trim pieces so that they fit up next to the harness bar, as well as install the driver's side seatbelt if I wanted to run that. But it is currently about 95% of the way there. I'm super happy about how the kit came together. Everything looks really nice. The switch groups are really, really sick. That's gonna make driving this thing feel a little bit more palatable, so it's not just an off-road only rig. The stuff coming out of 4Runner Off-Road is very specialized to the 5th gen 4Runner, and it's stuff I can't find anywhere else, so I'm really excited about how it's all coming together. Now, if you look at the kit and the way that this fits up, there isn't another 4Runner currently running around that looks like this. And I can't wait to put more specialty parts on Lunar2. But next week, we've got some more stuff coming in for Lunar1. We have the suspension coming together. We have the lower links sitting on the ground over there for the rear forelink, and we have rumors of more suspension stuff showing up. So we should have that thing on the ground rolling in no time flat. That's it for this week. Make sure, please go like, subscribe, comment on the video, and we'll see you next week.